Namaskaram. Welcome to CSIR Net Conceptual Life Science channel. This is your channel. It's the first lecture for the channel. So I'm also new on this channel as well as you are new on this channel. So this is for the CSIR Net aspirants who want to crack JRF, that is Junior Research Fellowship, or that is lecturership. Okay. So there are thousands of students, there are lakhs and lakhs of students set for CSIR net every year, right? But only 0.1 or 1% get through. So basically your approach towards the study is more important, okay? And you have lots and lots of material, right? You have many ebooks also available, you have coaching classes also available. Then where do we go wrong? Okay, we don't go wrong actually, we just have to focus our study. You have to channelize your study, okay? And for that the basics have to be very clear. You all know that it's not a plain paper like you have in MSc. The questions are quite you know according to the reference books, but here for CSIR net you have many analytical questions and you have many numerical problems also based on the topic. So if you have to be able to solve the numericals also, you have to have a clear concept of each and every topic, okay? And for that uh, you have to start your study right from the beginning, right? When you have taken MSc course, okay, when you're in the first semester of MSc, that time itself you can start your preparation for CSIR net. It shouldn't be too late, okay? But if you want to go for JRF, if you want to go for LS, then that's not an issue, okay? You can start in the third semester also, but the sooner the better, right? So here are some references, okay, the standard references which are required or which should be followed for CSIR net life sciences. You have instant notes available nowadays, okay? You have coaching notes also. I don't want to put a critic on it or pinpoint that all are good, okay? But I prefer, instead of going for instant notes, if you go for some standard books, that will really help you out to clear up your concepts, okay? So instead of going through the material which is available online, or okay, you have some prepared notes, instead of that, if you study some standard books in detail, and if you remove your own hand notes, if you have ample time, that's well and good, okay? But if you're running short of time, and say now you know that the net exam is approaching, okay, so if you have a 6 month span and all, then it's not possible to remove your own notes. But if you are planning to clear up net in a span of say 1 year or 2 years, then you have a time to prepare for yourself. And I would suggest that you have at least one of these reference books, standard reference books, okay? You have 13 units, right? So out of 13 units, I know I've written all the references over here, okay? All in the sense, these are few of them, okay? But the standard ones which have been followed for years and years, those references I have mentioned here. Now it's not possible that you go through each and every reference, okay? I have the ebooks of all of these references I've written here, okay? I have each and every reference, and so I've written here. The references which I don't have, I have not put on the board, okay? But out of these also, you should have a hard copy, right? It's very difficult and strenuous to read through mobile or laptop or PC or desktop. It's better to have a hard copy, okay? So that you can mark on the book, or you can remove your own hand notes. So today we'll discuss, this is the first lecture, okay? And we'll discuss about the standard references which are used for each and every unit, okay? So you can have a hard copy of any one of these from each unit. So let us go unit wise, and we'll see which is the main reference which you would like to have in your shelf, okay? So molecules and their interactions relevant to biology. Principles of Biochemistry by Leninger. This is a standard reference. Okay, those who are doing BSc course or BSc microbiology, biotechnology, you all know that Leninger is the Bible of biochemistry, you can say. So Leninger is the best book. And if I go subtopic wise, I can tell you more in detail, like say structure of atoms, molecules and chemical bonds. For this topic or subtopic, you can even refer your 12th standard NCRT chemistry book. Okay, that would also suffice because it's given in detail. Then you have stabilizing interactions, that is van der Waals forces, electrostatic forces, hydrogen bonding, hydrophobic interactions. All these basic bondings and interactions you can get from your 11th 12th chemistry books. Also it's given in detail. Even the thermodynamics part you have in this unit, thermodynamics also. Okay, so the chemistry part or the colligative properties and all those parts, or surface tension and all this basic chemistry you can revise or brush up from your 11th and 12th NCRT textbook. Okay, now let us come on to the actual core, biochemistry core. Like you have the biomolecules, you have carbohydrates, lipids, nucleic acids, uh, vitamins and lipids. Okay, for that if you refer Leninger, it's the ideal book, and I would suggest that go for the latest version. Okay, or the latest edition. E stands for edition over here, so I have the 6th edition. Okay, now I would suggest the latest or the newly revised one. Why? Because according to the inventions and all, it is updated. Okay, so there are many changes made in the new versions. Okay, if you don't get if you don't get, fine, you can go with the old versions also, but preferably see to it that you get the new versions. Okay, so Leninger is ideal for the biomolecules part, that is carbohydrates, lipids. Okay, and all the other biomolecules, nucleic acids, proteins and vitamins. For the structure and function, Leninger is good. Another next book, very good reference is Voigt and Voigt, Fundamentals of Biochemistry. Those who are pursuing MSc course, okay, you all, or other BSc course also, you must have come across these references. Then for the enzymology part, you have a subtopic, principles of catalysis, enzymes and enzyme kinetics, right? So for enzymes, of course there's another book that is enzymology by Dixon and Webb. Okay, I remember our sir used to say that Dixon and Webb is the Bible of enzymology. Okay, so if you you don't have to go in that detail, right? We don't have the nomenclature of enzyme nomenclature, but you can surely go for enzymes by Trevor and Palmer. Okay, 2nd edition or any edition which is available. And all these editions or all these books with e-books are available free on PDF drive. Okay, if you go on Google www.pdfdrive.com, you will easily get these books for free. Okay, so you can make folders and keep them and get a hard print of any one of these. So I have Leninger, of course. Okay, so for the first part, you can go on for Leninger, Voigt and Voigt, Trier, enzymes by Trevor and Palmer. Okay, and for the numerical part, you have problem based questions, right? So on for the problem based questions, we used to refer Biochemical Calculations by Sagil Erwin. It's a very nice book. They have given the explanation also, the solving part also they have done, and you have some extra numericals also. Another latest book for solving the numericals is Schaum's Outline of Biochemistry by Kuchel. I have not gone through it, but it's also a recommended reference. Okay, so this is about molecules and their interactions relevant to biology. Let's move on to the next unit, that is cellular organization. Unit number 2, cellular organization. Now you have n number of books on cell biology and molecular biology. Okay, these are just a few. I have enlisted 8 of them and 2 I have written over here since I was running short of space. Later on I've added over here. So for cell you have n number of books, as I said. All these books are good, and some are unlisted, they are also good. For cell you can go, any standard book is good. Okay, not necessary that you have to go for these only. The main part or the fundamental cell biology does not change. Okay, for years and years some basics do not change, so you can refer any one of these books. So for the membrane structure and function part, uh, this Bruce Albert is the best, I would say. And the second ranking is Cell and Molecular Biology by Gerald Karp. Okay, the 8th edition. So Gerald Karp is also good. Bruce Albert also, if you have a hard copy, that's the best, 6th edition. Now another book, that is Essential of Molecular Biology by Freffelder, 3rd edition. So Freffelder is also good, and there are some books which will suffice you for more than 1 unit. Like for example Freffelder, it's a good book for cell biology as well as for genetics. Okay, for genetics part also, or molecular biology also, Freffelder is good. Prescott's biology, it's the normal microbiology book. Okay, Prescott, or you have say Madigan and Brock. Okay, so Prescott biology, Brock biology, all these are basic and standard books. Okay, wherein you get all the material, right? You'll have a topic on cell organization, you'll have on molecular biology also, you'll have on genetics also, you'll have on immunology also. So these are common books. So Prescott, 9th edition. Then Molecular Cell Biology by Lodish. Okay, Lodish is also good, a very nice book, and I've mentioned somewhere here also again. Okay, Lodish. So 8th edition of Lodish is the latest edition, I guess. Then the Cell, a Molecular Approach by Jaffrey Cooper. The 8th edition of it is also available on PDF drive. Then you have Molecular Biology by Weaver and David Clark. Now out of this 7th and 8th, you can go for the first 6. Okay, that is Bruce Alberts, Gerald Karp, Freffelder, Prescott, Lodish. Any one of this, and Cooper. Okay, and you have one more, that is Cell and Molecular Biology by Robertis. Now during our PG, we had this book available in the library. Okay, if you are undergoing a MSc course or a BSc course, just search in your departmental library, you'll definitely get these books. Okay, if at all the e-books is not available. Then Theory and Problems of Molecular and Cell Biology by Stansfield. Now again this book Stansfield is for numericals. Okay, numericals based on cell biology. So for every unit you have, almost for every unit you have numericals. Okay, so you cannot skip that part. But if your concepts are very clear, then of course you can go for numericals. So this is about cellular organization. The 3rd unit is fundamental processes, wherein you have the basic genetics. Okay, you have replication, then you have repair mechanism. Okay, RNA processing and protein synthesis, protein sorting. Okay, gene expression, that is gene regulation. So you have some operons also over here. You have lactose, arabinose, and all these operons coming into this fundamental processes. Okay, so you have transcription, translation, that is protein synthesis. You have replication and repair mechanisms. Okay, all those fundamentals are given very nicely in molecular biology of the gene, that is Watson. The latest edition is 7th edition, and the next is Levin's gene, 12th edition. During our times we had Benjamin Levin 7th edition. I still do have a hard copy of it, but as I said that if it's not available the latest, you can go with the old editions also, not an issue at all. Okay, so I think these two books will suffice for genetics. Watson will start from the next lecture. I'm planning to start with unit 3 first. Okay, at the end of the lecture, I'll also, at the end of the seminar, or rather this lecture, I'll put a note that which are the units which are more important. Okay, you can put a hierarchy according to the questions asked in the last 10 years, or for the past 10 years, which are the most important units. Okay, So unit 3 is very important from that aspect. So we'll start with unit 3 first. Let's see how it goes. Now next is unit 4, that is cell communication and cell signaling. Now for cell signaling, you have you have cancer biology, you have cellular communication, you have cell signaling, little bit of host parasite, okay, relationship, and you have immunology. Like that you have sub 5 topics, okay. So for immunology part, of course, you undoubtedly Cube is the best, okay. The language of Cube is also very simple to understand. And second is immunology by Royd, Evans Royd. So Royd, I guess it's a little bit higher to understand, okay, but if you can go through it, well and good. But Cube is fabulous, okay. So immunology by Cube, and if you get the latest version, please go with it, that is 7th edition. Now for the cell signaling part, I have, this is not the standard reference, this is the reference I have found on my own. Actually, I found this book and it's really very good, Structure and Function in Cell Signaling, okay. So for the signaling part, by you can refer this book, Structure and Function in Cell Signaling by John Nelson. Instant notes on immunology. Now if you see for the 13 units, you will have instant notes on every unit, but as I said, instant notes is just instant, and I don't think you can study instantly for competitive exams, okay. You have to have a deep study, but sometimes to clear up the concepts in short, you can go with instant notes, okay. So you have instant notes on immunology by Ledyard. It's a small textbook, okay, textbook in the sense 400-500 pages, and reference books of course 900,000 pages. So Royd, Cube, and John Nelson. For cancer biology and oncogenes and all, I think Benjamin Levin is also a good book. Genes by Levins, okay, Benjamin Levin. That also has given a chapter on cancer oncology, okay. So you go for standard books, okay. Then for 5th topic or the 5th unit, that is developmental biology. The one and whole or sole book is Developmental Biology by Gilbert, okay. And its latest edition which I have is 11th edition. If you have some more latest, you can go for it, but Gilbert is very nice. And another is Principles of Development by Lewis Wolpert, 2nd edition. Now, I have not gone through Gilbert. Let me be very honest. I am a microbiologist. I have done my post-graduation in microbiology. So, you will basically go for units in which you have done your mastery, right? But I have not done PG in zoology, but still, developmental biology, many questions are asked and you cannot skip that unit, okay? So, it's important, and if you have Gilbert, go for it, okay. So I would suggest for each of this unit have one at least hard copy, okay, and rest you can have ebooks, right. Now what happens is you have subtopics. Some subtopics are very nicely mentioned in one of the reference, and the other subtopic is good in another reference, okay. So it's not possible to have hard copies of each and every, but you'll have to go for a generalized edition, or sorry, generalized book which will have all the topics covered, okay. So Gilbert and Wolpert. Another book you have Lodish, as I said, okay. Lodish is coming in here also in cellular organization, and for developmental biology, so some part you can refer for developmental biology, okay. So this is with unit 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Now let us move on to next unit, and very important unit, that is system physiology, plant. Then 7th you have system physiology, animal, okay. So for plant physiology, the most recommended book is by Plant Physiology by Ties and Ziegler, okay. You have the 3rd edition, you have the 5th edition also. Most of them go with the 3rd edition, right. So Plant Physiology by Ties and Ziegler is the recommended book. Now here again for the pathology part, okay, if you see the subtopics, you have photosynthesis, respiration, photorespiration, nitrogen metabolism, you have plant hormones, you have photobiology, right, and you have some diseases also, right. So for that part, for the pathology part, you can refer Plant Pathology by Agrios. Okay, Agrios, 5th edition, Agrios, Plant Pathology. Then again you have instant notes, like you had on Immunology, you have instant notes on Plant Biology also by Evans. Okay, it's a short book. If you want to hurriedly go through the topic, and if you're running short of time, or say 1 or 2 months, then in that preparation you can go for instant notes in that situation. Then the Indian authors are also very good. Okay, you have Plant Breeding Principles and Methods by B.D. Singh. So B.D. Singh is the most famous book in plant pathology or the breeding techniques. Okay, it's the Indian scientist book. Okay, so you can definitely go for it if you get. Actually, I tried to get B.D. Singh, but I could not get it on PDF drive. But there's another book instead of B.D. Singh. If you don't get that, then you have another book, Principles and Plant Breeding Methods of Field Crops in India by Chakraborty and Das Gupta. Okay, so this is also a book on plant breeding techniques only. This also is quite good. Now let us move on to next unit, that is animal physiology. Okay, unit number 7, animal physiology. Now here in animal physiology, they have not mentioned whether you have some you have to go for some animals or say frog or this, but it's a vertebrate physiology, that's for sure. So in vertebrates, it's all the human physiology which you have to study here. Okay, but you have on frog, like suppose if it's on frog, then you can go for Essentials of Animal Physiology by Rastogi, 4th edition. And for human physiology, you have some good books like Principles of Anatomy and Physiology by Tortora and Derrickson, that is the 12th edition. Then you have Ganong's Reviews of Medical Physiology. It's a book or a reference book having many reviews, okay, based on different systems, cardiovascular system, respiratory system, excretory system, and so on. So you have reviews, papers of different organs in this book. So Ganong's Review of Medical Physiology. I have the 25th edition with me. Another is Textbook of Medical Physiology by Guyton. Okay, so if you have any doubts in this physiology part or the medical part, if you have your of course you have your family doctors, so you can consult with them to clear up any particular point also. Okay, so that's about medical physiology. Then you have Textbook of Medical Physiology by Guyton, Animal Biology Instant Notes by Jurd, Jurd. So you have instant notes for immunology, you have for plant and as well as for animal. Of course, you have instant notes for biochemistry as well. For every unit almost you have instant notes available. Okay. But as I said that you have to have a deep study. Okay. Conceptually, if you are very clear, then it's not very far to crack CSIR. Okay. And consistency is also very important. You have to persevere. Okay, you have to have a daily plan to study and you have to work according to your plan. If your plan does not work, change your plan, but have everything on paper and remove notes. Okay, nowadays students do not rather students are not in favor of writing. Okay, they just read and read and read. Okay, वाचाल तर वाचाल, but I would say लिहाल तर वाचाल. Okay, so now also I prepare notes for teaching. So similarly, you also should have your own hand notes and long notes as well as short notes. First go for long notes, okay, wherein you have the details of the topic, and from those long notes you can prepare a short note on one paper. Everything will come on one paper. So when you go for examination, you can just refer that paper and go, right? So your own notes will help you, right? You have ample number of these notes, those notes, but if you have your own notes, that will be more applicable. Okay, now this is about animal physiology. Next important unit is inheritance biology, very important unit. Okay, from exam point of view, you have lots of numericals for this unit, inheritance biology. and basically here you have both genetics. You have Mendelian genetics and you have non-Mendelian genetics or neogenetics also. Okay, so you have ample number of references. These are just the few I have enlisted, but you can go with any one of them for a hard copy. Now again, as I said, that some topics are good in one, some topics are skipped from one book, and there are some additional topics in one book which are not there in other books. That is going to happen. Okay, so no book is complete, I would say, and no book is incomplete also. So but if you want to take a print of one book, then I would say that you can go with for 12th, sorry, for 8th unit, 8th and 12th and 13th, these are basically genetics and applied. So for that you can go for Primrose. Okay, and from 8th unit here you can go with Russell. Okay, the 8th book which I've said, 8th from here, number 8, I Genetics, a molecular approach by Peter Russell, third edition. Okay, any edition, but Russell is a good book for inheritance biology. Then others are of course Genetics by Benjamin Levin. It is also repeating in unit number 3. Then you have Genetics by Strickberger. Now Strickberger, you have two types of books. Okay, Strickberger by Genetics by Strickberger, and you have Evolution by Strickberger. Okay, I have both of them. I have Genetics by Strickberger hard copy as well as Evolution by Strickberger hard copy. Both are really very good. Okay, but for genetics, the numerical approach Strickberger is really good. It contains lot of numericals on Mendelian genetics. Now next is Concept of Genetics by Klug, 12th edition. Principles of Genetics by Snustad and Simmons. Okay. Then Genetics, Principles and Analysis by Hartle Jones. L is silence, I guess. Hartl Jones. Okay. So Genetics, Principles and Analysis by Hartle Jones. Genetics, a Conceptual Approach by Benjamin Pierce, 4th edition. Then Principles of Genetics by Tamarin, and last is I Genetics by Russell. So this book you can have for your printout, or even Gardner is good. Okay, so Gardner is a very nice book for genetics again. So you can go for Peter Russell or Gardner, but I would suggest go for I Genetics. Then next is Unit 9. Unit 9 is Diversity of Life Forms. Now from, if you see the couple of papers of last papers for a couple of years, very few questions are asked from this Unit 9, or say Unit 2, or say again Applied Biology. Okay, Unit 12, a few questions are asked. So from the weightage point of view, I'm not saying that you skip any unit, but it's also not possible to go through all the 13 units. So in the end, I will enlist the hierarchy as I said. Okay. But for diversity, if you want to go, then you have the standard biology books by Kenneth, 9th edition, and biology by Campbell, 12th edition. Now Campbell, this reference is even suggested for 11th and 12th NEET examination. Okay, so Campbell is also a common book, you can think over it. Next is some common books on microbiology. Okay, these are some common books on microbiology, you can have one of them. Microbiology by Prescott, Microbiology by Pelzar, Stanier, Frobisher. Okay, now being a microbiologist, we have gone through all these books during our graduation, but you can have one if you want as a hard copy. Stanier is the common one, generally students take a copy of it. Now Microbiology by Tortora. Now this Tortora is different from the Tortora we came across in animal physiology. Okay, so for medical biology or medical physiology, you have Tortora and Derrickson, and for pure microbiology you have Microbiology by Tortora. Okay, so they are different. Then you have Brock's Biology, as I said. Okay, Madigan and Brock is also a good book on microbiology. Now let us move on to Next, last few units, that is 10, 11, 12 and 13. For unit 10, that is ecological principles, of course the best book is Odum and P.D. Sharma. Odum, it's the fundamental book used for studying ecology. Okay, it has got all in it. You have population ecology, then you have ecological succession, community ecology, species ecosystem, species concept and all that. Okay, the niche, okay, habitat and all that is there in one book. Okay, that is Odum or P.D. Sharma. It's the again the Indian scientist. Okay, ecology and environment. Now you have some part. If you see your syllabus, ecological principles, at the end you have conservational biology and you have applied biology also, right? Sorry, applied ecology, wherein you have the different types of pollution, environmental pollution, air pollution, water pollution, noise pollution, okay, little bit of water engineering and all that part, or biodiversity and all. So for that, that is given in P.D. Sharma. But this all is skipped, or rather it's not there in fundamentals of ecology. So as I said, there are pros and cons for every book, and you cannot have all the books, right? But one ideal book, you if you want, then you can go for ecology and environment, P.D. Sharma, if it's available. Elements of Ecology is also easily available. It's a very nice book. I've gone through it. That is by Smith and Smith. Okay, it's the latest book and it's given in deep, okay, population ecology and all that. It's given in great detail in this Smith and Smith. So you can think of any one of these. Now next is 11th unit, that is evolution. For evolution part, as I said that you have Strickberger also, evolution by Strickberger, then you have evolution by Ridley Mark. Okay, so Ridley Mark 3rd edition, you can go for it if you want a hard copy of it. Then this is the best book. Then you have evolution by Strickberger, then evolution handbook by Vance Ferrell. Now I have not gone through this book, but it's given in the standard references. Okay, so if you go through Google also, that which are the best references for CSIR, which are the recommended references for CSIR, then these are few which are mentioned, so I am mentioning over here. Then the Indian author book, that is Organic Evolution, is also good, Veer Bala Rastogi. Okay, overall I have gone through this book, Veer Bala Rastogi, so you can go for the Indian author book as well. Now for unit 2, that is the least important, okay, from the exam point of view, that is applied biology. And in applied biology you have everything. Okay, you have biology including plant, you have plant biology, you have viruses, okay, then you have bacterial biology, then you have animal biology, okay, you have all three mixed. Then you have fermentation technology, you have agriculture, right, you have plant tissue culture, biotechnology. So you cannot have all this in one book, okay, under one this platform. Okay, so you have couple of books. For the fermentation part, you have two books, that is Industrial Microbiology by Casida. It's a small book, you can purchase it. It must be costing about some 200 to 300 bucks. So Industrial Microbiology by L.E. Casida. Another book, the best book is Principles of Fermentation Technology by Stansbury Whittaker. So this is also a very nice book, in detail, and it's given systematically. Okay, fermentation technology. You have batch fermentation, continuous fermentation, the design of the fermenter and all. So in depth, if you want fermentation technology, then go for Stansbury Whittaker. Okay. Then for the genomic part and the genetic engineering applied part, you can go for Genome 3. There is also Genome 4. Okay, like you have Genome 3, you have Genome 4 also by T.A. Brown. So this is also a nice book. And for removing zero printout, you can go for Genome 3, you can go for Whittaker. Okay. Now for environmental biotechnology, you have Furlong and Evans. And this is also a good book. Okay. But not for having a printout. Okay. Just for reference, you can have this book. And Introduction to Plant Tissue Culture by Razdan. Very nice and fantastically they have explained the basics of tissue culture. Okay, plant tissue culture. So Razdan, if you get, well and good. Okay, we have during our PG, we had Xerox of it. Okay, we have those printouts, and when I'll be taking our course on Unit 12, of course I will refer this. So as I said that this channel, that is CSIR Net Conceptual Life Sciences, is totally based on the standard books. Okay, you won't find anything here and there taken from here and there. All the standard books references I'll be referring for the discourse. Okay, so next, after unit 12, then you have the last unit and most important unit. Okay, that is methods in biology, wherein you employ all the modern techniques. Okay, you have chromatography, then you have centrifugation, right? You have crystallography, you have X-ray diffraction, and all those techniques are mentioned very nicely in the Primrose. Okay, you know this reference, that is principles of gene manipulation and genomics. All the genetic uh, principles and applications are given in this book, Primrose and uh, Twyman. Okay, so this book you can have for your uh, printout. Of course, biophysical chemistry, Upadhyay and Upadhyay is also very nice book. I have this copy with me. Okay, a hard copy. This has given in very simple language, Upadhyay and Upadhyay. The language is simple and lucid. It's understandable, and you can surely go for this book also. Both of this. Okay. So these two books are good. Then you have Molecular Cloning by Lab Manual by Sandbrook. Now Sandbrook and Russell. This is a very huge book. Okay, it's about more than 1,000 pages. Okay, so I would not suggest to go in that detail, but Primrose will serve the purpose. Okay. Then you have Principles and Techniques of Biochemistry and Molecular Biology by Wilson and Walker. Of course, this is the most recommended book, okay, for Unit 13 and for Unit 12 also. So if you're going for a common book, then for 12 and 13, then you can go for Wilson and Walker. Okay, Principles and Techniques of Biochemistry and Molecular Biology by Wilson and Walker. Now, in a 13th unit, you have all in in patches or in bunch, you can say. You have some questions on statistics, biostatistics, some on bioinformatics, some on recombinant DNA technology. So you have to have at least one reference for each of these subtopics. Now for our DNA technology, you can go with T.A. Brown again or Primrose. Okay, so that book is there. Then DNA technology by Alcamo. This is another book, Alcamo. Third is Discovering Genomics, Proteomics and Bioinformatics. It's a common for all three, that is genomics, proteomics and bioinformatics by Campbell. Okay, this Campbell is different and the Campbell biology is different. That's for ecology part. Okay, we came across Campbell right over here for diversity part. This Campbell is different and this Campbell is different, right? Now for bioinformatics, information to bioinformatics by Arthur Less, any one you can go for, and bioinformatics you have instant notes also by Hodgman. Now please clear up the concept of bioinformatics. Okay, it's not a new science. Of course you have this running in your MSc courses, but during our time it was very new. Okay, and we had problems with solving those Needleman-Wunsch equation and Waterman equation. Okay, but clear up the concepts of bioinformatics, have a deep study through the standard books. Okay, and last is biostatistics. For biostatistics you can go for any statistical books. Okay, not necessarily that you have something different on biology. The general statistics books also you can refer, but the examples will be based on life science. Okay, so Mahajan is a nice book, Biostatistics by Mahajan, right? So this is all about the references for the 13 units. In short, again I'll tell you one reference from each unit wherein you can have a hard copy of them. For unit 1, Leninger, unit 2, Bruce Alberts, okay, unit 3, Watson, unit 4, Cube, unit 5, Gilbert, okay. Then unit 6, Thies and Ziegler, plant physiology. For animal physiology, you can go for these two books, Ganong's and Medical Physiology by Guyton. Then for inheritance biology, I genetics, that is Peter Russell, third edition. Unit 9, Campbell. Unit 10, you can go for Smith and Smith. Unit 11, Ridley Mark, okay, evolution. Unit 12 and 13, as I said, that you can go for Primrose and Wilson and Walker, right? So that's all for today with this. And of course, I wanted to mention the hierarchy, right? The hierarchy of importance. Okay, unit wise, if you see, the most important unit is unit 3, unit 6. Okay, the most important, I'm going from higher importance to lower importance. Okay, so unit 3, 6, 13, 8, 1, 10, 4, 5, 9, 11, 2 and 12, right? So let me see if they are 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, 9, 11, 2, 12. 3, 6, 13, 8, 7. I missed out 7. Okay, sorry. So 3, 6, 13, 8, 7, 1, 10, 4, 5, 9, 11, 2 and 12. So if you are planning to skip, of course, it's, as I said, it's not possible to cover all the units, but if you want to skip any units, right, say 1 or 2 units or 3 units, you can start from this. So unit 12 you can skip, that is applied biology. Unit 2, that is cellular organization. It's the fundamental and the basic things. So most of the times nowadays or rather for a couple of years, the questions are, very few questions are asked on cellular organization. More questions are asked on the recent technologies, okay, genetic engineering and the methods used in biology. This is the hot favorite. Genetics is very hot favorite. Okay, then you have molecular biology, which is very important. Okay, so if you want to skip any particular unit, 1, 2, I would suggest don't skip more than 3 or 4 units. Okay, 3 maximum you can skip 3, but be prepared with at least 10 units. Okay, so we'll stop here, and thank you for calmly listening to me. In the next lecture or the schedule, I am planning to start with fundamental processes, that is the genetics, because if you see in the hierarchy it ranks first. Okay, so you have to be very clear for it. So we'll start with molecular biology, right? So that's all for today. Thank you.